Hey Matt, sort of want to talk to you about your recent leap in performance. What do you think is really behind it? Is it just putting in the work and it's now paying off, or have you been trying something different? What can you tell me about that?
Honestly, I really wouldn't call it a leap in performance. It's one. I played one really good game. I'd say that. I played solid against Pacific. Just doing my thing. But if you look at the game before that, I of course performed in a way that is not up to my standards. So um, I'm not satisfied at all with this. I see one game and it's really good. I'm really happy with the way I played against LMU. I'm satisfied with the way I played against Pacific because we came out and we won big. But that's got to keep going. This is my last year. This is it for me. So I have another month at most playing college basketball. So it's just about sustaining this performance and continuing. I've just been doing everything the coaches ask of me. Really taking the challenge of being more physical to heart. But I wouldn't say that it's been one really good game, and that's got to continue. And I'm doing everything I can to continue that.
And you kind of chose BYU because of their analytics and the way they use it to help their players improve. What now that you've actually experienced it and have gone through it this whole time, what's your favorite thing about the way they use analytics to really help you guys?
It's just it's just something I see every single day. I love just the everyday use of analytics in our coaching. Like I go talk to Coach Burgess. He's like, "Hey, you want to just like watch some film? We'll watch some film." He's like, "Hey, let's pull up your numbers over the past like whatever couple of games," and then we just look at my efficiency. He's like, "Hey, you've actually been really efficient doing this." So sometimes as a basketball player, you can kind of get a feeling of like, "Oh, this is working for me and this isn't working for me." But then you see the numbers and you start to realize that there's some things that maybe you just haven't been realizing you were really good at. Like there was a while where I thought out of the post I was doing okay, but I wasn't being super efficient. And then I realized I was 1.1 points per possession in the post, which is 91st percentile in the country. So I was like, oh, that's pretty solid. So then you start to realize, and that gives you a real boost to realize like, oh, that's actually a part of my game that I'm actually pretty good at. So I just love that every single day, and every time I go talk to a coach, that there's just one of those things they just pull something quick up, like, hey, you've been really efficient doing this, and that's sometimes players. I mean, I've been in college for a while, so I've learned to trust my coaches. But especially for younger guys, sometimes it's hard to just be like take someone's word for it, and then they actually give you the number. They like stick the number in your face. You're like, oh, that's actually really good. So I really appreciate that.
Jeff, and then Mitch.
Yeah, Matt, I was wondering about what it's been like to play with Alex and Brandon, the other seniors, and maybe what you guys, as the three seniors on this team, have accomplished to this point, and maybe just looking ahead, like you said, about a month left in your college career. What's kind of going through your mind right now as you gear up for these last several weeks of the season?
Um, of course, you want to think of like, oh, what have we done so far? But really, it hasn't been. We've won games, but that doesn't mean anything. We're not hanging a banner yet. We haven't done anything. We haven't earned a ring yet, and that's what this team is playing for. So really, in the grand scheme of things, we won games. That's really fun and it's really great. But there's a lot left for us to do. As someone that's been there, that's won championships, that's gone deep in the tournament. That's what I value. I don't just value winning in the regular season. That doesn't matter. At some point, like looking back, I'm not gonna be like, oh, we did so great in the regular season. Like no one's gonna say that. I want this team to be looked back on as a team that had actual postseason success, because that's how you get judged 5-10 years down the line, and it's really important to me. I've had such an amazing time here representing BYU that I want to give the fans a year to remember. So accomplishments so far, we won regular season games, but a lot still left for us.
What's it been like playing with Alex and Brandon this season?
It's been awesome. They're just such awesome dudes. They're both my roommates. I live with both of them. So just guys that are so committed to this team. BA and AB were both guys that immediately I felt. I always mix their names up too, BA and AB, but they're always guys that I immediately felt were here for the team and that want to do the best for the team. They both have their own separate skills that they're really good at, but they're both amazing players individually. And I just really enjoy, when they have a great game, I just really enjoy that because I know they do everything for this team. So I'm just super excited, for this last week of the regular season and to see where we can take it.
Yeah, Matt, what's been your maybe message to your teammates that haven't experienced this point of the season where you guys are playing for heightened postseason expectations. Maybe what's the message you've given to the guys as to what everyone needs to do to elevate their level of play going into March?
There really hasn't been a message yet. The coaches have said enough, like, about how great teams at this point, they get better. They continue to get better. I've just, I've relayed that same message. I've said the same things. I've just echoed that basically. But at this point for me, there's nothing yet because we haven't reached that point yet. I'm not going to encourage guys to look ahead to the postseason when we're still in the regular season. We still have 2 games against very dangerous teams. In that road trip against these 2 teams, we struggled the entire game. So before eventually pulling away and coming out with the win. But these are 2 very dangerous teams that we have to take extremely seriously this week. And that starts, on Thursday with San Francisco. So there really hasn't been a postseason message yet. That'll come once we hit the postseason. But right now we're just we got to be focused on these games because this happens to teams. There's teams that everyone thinks they're in the tournament, and then that last week they're already looking ahead to Selection Sunday or whatever happens or the tournament, and then they slip, and that can't happen to us. We need every single win we can get, and that's those last 2 opportunities this week are huge for us.
Seems like there's been like a nice rotation the last couple of games where there's some more consistency. What's maybe worked with this starting lineup with Gideon and Caleb and this new rotation? What elements do you think this has brought to the team in terms of efficiency and whatnot?
I think Gideon, of course, his emergence has been really great for us. He had some foul trouble the last game, but I think he's really important for us. I think he's a really important piece. He's just a guy that won't be told no. He won't take what the defense gives him. He just takes what he wants. And sometimes, like when Gideon does something, sometimes I'm like, oh no, and then I'm like, oh wait, it actually worked, because he's a guy that won't let anyone dictate what he does, and that's just so awesome to have a player like that. Just someone who will just go and get a basket when you need it. And then of course Caleb sliding into the starting lineup has really been awesome for us. He's played freaking fantastic. He's easily one of the best freshmen in the country this year. He's just been so impactful. That especially now that he's in the starting lineup, he's such an amazing rebounder and such an amazing player already. That him just sliding into the starting lineup just was so natural. We need him playing those minutes, and he's perfectly capable of doing it. He's still young. His legs don't have that much wear on him yet, so he's perfectly capable of playing those minutes, and we're going to need that from him. So those guys have just been crucial for our success.
Jeff and Norma?
Yeah, Matt, the school announced yesterday that more fans would be allowed in the Marriott Center, and it won't be a ton. We're hearing less than 2,000, but still, what does it mean to you and your teammates to have maybe that little boost of energy and just have fans come and watch you guys in person?
It's super exciting. It's just hearing that was so awesome, just to see that, especially on senior night. We'll actually have some people in the gym. It's really awesome. We've been able to have just close family. That's kind of been it. But, and that's already been awesome. But my favorite game of all year basically was at Utah State. And those were 2,000. They said 2,000. It felt like 4. But those felt like 2,000 people that all hated our guts. And that was the most fun game we had all year, just because we had so much energy in the gym. And I can't wait to see what the people are going to bring to the Marriott Center these 2 games. It's going to be so exciting.
Because you only have about a month left of your collegiate career, you moved here during the pandemic. You haven't had the stereotypical BYU experience, but what's something that you're taking away from your time in Provo, in regards to the community, the fans? Just is Don Joaquin still your favorite restaurant to eat from? Can you tell me about that?
I actually haven't been there in a while. I should go sometime, but. It's been awesome. The support has been, I've really felt it, especially, even on campus. Everyone's wearing their mask and a socially distanced, but I've had a lot of 10 feet away. It's like, hey, you're Matt Haarms. I've had a lot of those, especially recently. So it's been really awesome to see the support, not just in person on campus, but on social media as well and stuff. People always reaching out to me, about the team, that they're excited about the team and how well we're doing. So it's been really awesome. Of course I wish that it was a normal experience, but it's still been really special. This is a year I'm going to look back on for the rest of my life as being really special. And that's why I'm so committed to, making sure that, this year we go as deep as possible in the postseason. So I'm just really committed to this team. I'm really committed to BYU. I'm really happy, to be here. I'm just, every day I wake up and I'm like, this is awesome. I still feel the same. You know, just coming here and in April, committing here and making that choice, I felt so good about it. And there's never been a day where I look back. I'm just so proud to be a part of this program right now and just to see where we can go.